I think Big Mouth is single-handedly one of the worst shows that I've ever seen. From a moral standpoint and a comedic standpoint, I just think it's absolute dog shit. There is just no reason to watch that show, at least to me. It's literally the type of comedy for a person who's like, Dad, I just stuck my dick inside of a cactus. It didn't feel good. Like, it's literally that kind of comedy, and I never understand how it could possibly go on for 6 seasons. And what baffles me even more is that it has a spin-off called Human Resources. Isn't that so odd that shows like Inside Job, which is beloved by a large amount of people, got canceled, yet Big Mouth and Human Resources got to go on for so unbelievably long, and I have never in my entire life met a actual person who's like, yeah, I like Big Mouth, probably because if you like Big Mouth, you have to be a closeted fan around normal people. It's just a very weird show to like because there's so many different problems with it that are very apparent throughout the entire series. So, I've never taken a look at Human Resources, I've never seen a single episode, but I'm wondering, maybe it's a little bit better. Maybe they took the qualities that they like from Big Mouth and only focused on the good things and actually made a decent spin-off, or maybe it's just an excuse to make the same exact show with the same exact jokes. That's what I'm going to be trying to find out today. Was Human Resources good or bad? And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe because I upload every single day. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers and I would really appreciate it. If the content here on YouTube just isn't enough, my Patreon's in the description, and if you want to talk about games, movies, and shows with like-minded people, my Discord will also be in the description. Now let's finally take a look at Human Resources. So the first episode that I took a look at, which is said to be one of the best episodes in the series, is the episode on the daughter front, and I feel like there probably is some layering going into these characters and their exposition, but I'm sorry, I'm not watching your jizz-filled monster show all the way through. Just taking a look at this episode, which is said to be one of the worst. It is just literally the equivalent of somebody just having 2 nuclear bombs, my shirt's off, and I'm just sitting there and they're just pounding my chest with it, just my nipples in specific, just leaving them just graded craters right there, and then I'm just a no nipple man, and it's really sad. It's just depressing, and nobody wants to see me anymore. If I'm going to the pool, everybody's going like, you know? Like, that's what watching this show makes me feel like. Because they actually have some good ideas and some good premises, and then they literally just funnel it all through the same exact sex jokes over and over and over again, and I don't know why they would even remotely find it that funny, because it's literally the equivalent of somebody walking up to you and just being like, hey dad, so like, Rachel, she was like getting eaten out the other day, and like, that was crazy, like, she was like, the vag, like, was, you had a tongue in it, like, like, and that's the entire thing. It's literally just describing sexual intercourse, and I can only see, like, genuinely, like, frat and just fraternity people finding this funny because all their jokes are, yeah, dude, pound that tuna. Dude, did you just say pound that tuna? Give me some skin. Yeah. You know, it's just really fucking dumb. Like, I don't understand it. The episode opens with a father and some of the human resource characters, that being Walter the love bug and this rock woman, and this father, he really wants to talk to his daughter, so he's like, come on, daughter, get out of the house. I need to talk to you. You're being such a cyber skank, you know, going after all those dirty people. You know, it's just really weird. He's just insulting his daughter and Walter, the love bug. Walter, he's getting very upset, so he starts just throwing stuff at cars and causing a big explosion, and that establishes our, you know, initial A-plot. I thought it was going to be a lot more important, and then everything just turns into, you know, yes, this is what's funny. Let's just devolve everything that we've been trying to build this entire episode into, yes, penis in the vag. You know, it's just really dumb. So that's how that starts. There's discourse between a father and a daughter because they don't really want to see each other very much anymore. Well, they do want to see each other, but they don't want to see each other. And so we then cut to the main human resources stuff, and we just get a ton of jokes. Again, it's just that rapid fire comedy that I don't really like, in which they just are throwing stuff at a dartboard hoping that it'll make you laugh, and like 90% of it doesn't, but there's a slim chance that it might. With a character named Emmy the love bug, she has a coffee mug, and I've never heard anybody say such things to a Pop-Tart. She's trying to eat a Pop-Tart, and she's like, it won't fit in my coffee mug. How am I supposed to get my tart wet? Oh no, bro. Like, it's just stupid. Like, it's just saying things that are so absurd with, like, no setup and no care, with the, like, small hope that you'll get all giddy, which I do in this next scene, just because the entire concept of it is really funny, in which Walter, he's very upset. And so he, like, picks up a water jug and throws it at the elevator, and the elevator opens at the perfect time, and there's, like, a monster dude in there, and the water jug, like, just, like, collapses in on his head, and he starts, like, drowning to death. And I just think that's inherently really funny. That was my favorite part of the entire episode. A 3-second throwaway gag in which a character is riding up the elevator. Like, can you just imagine that? Like,
oh man, it's my first day as a human resources monster. Oh, I'm so thrilled. Is that a water jug? Ah!
You know, like, I think that's inherently really funny. I wish, like, the entire episode was about this guy trying to get his head out of the water jug before he drowns or something, because that would have been so much more thrilling, and it would have taken, you know, 5 years off my life, but here we are. So we get some more stuff between the daughter and the dad sets up this big thing in which the daughter has to come over to the house in order to get all of her stuff back. It's one big thing, he's selling the house, and it's all just a ploy to have to see the daughter. And that was a very interesting plot line, but then they decide to go into the plot line with Murray, Connie, and their son, who's looking for a college to go to. And, like, initially it's normal where they just go to, like, a shame school and they want to do shame stuff. We get a weird sentence in which, you know, one character's all like,
and then I started drinking my own urine.
Oh, that's very kind, but I'm actually going to a real college, like where people drink their own urine because it's so hard.
okay, yep, that was unbelievably funny. Here's a knee slapper for you. I'm laughing. It was funny. Yep, hilarious. I don't know. They just say things, like, genuinely. Like, if it involves anything in relation to sexual intercourse, feces, piss, you know, any excrement, really, they're gonna be saying it, and just somebody is just sitting there. It's probably like a 68-year-old man, like, you know, he's terrified to go home to his family because his family just finds him to be a perverted creep. He's just sitting there in his chair as he writes the word urine, and he's like, you are I you know, like, it's just unbelievably funny to him. So we then cut to them going to a different school called Fuck University, and oh man, I was thrilled. There's a lot I can't show here for very obvious reasons, but it's a university where literally all the characters and every student there is just getting down and jiggy with each other in ways you can't even imagine. Literally, one of the first scenes that we see is just a woman reading a book while she's on top of a man, just sitting her fat ass on his face and just getting slurped up. So yeah, I was initially just shocked and appalled that a episode that could have been a serious conversation between a daughter and a father about their, like, feelings just turned into this nonsense so quickly. And it baffles me, the decisions they decide to make. They walk up to the statue and they're like, oh yes, oh man, that's Mr. Chucky Fucky, oh, the great man of this school, oh, his statue is even a lubricant, oh, how exciting. And just then Connie starts hitting a jig and dancing with her old, like, fraternity members. Okay. And I was half expecting them to start just, like, violently twerking towards my screen, but they didn't. It was just a normal dance. So ultimately, we just have either sex jokes and then wasting time with Connie hitting a 15-second jig, and then Murray looks her up and down and is like, hey, I need you, girl. And then they start having sex on top of the statue, and that's literally what happens in the episode, and it's all so stupid. Like, I can't believe that any of this is happening. And then the son, he decides, you know, like many young men do when they're deciding if they want to go to a university, he finds a six-packed alpha monster who wants to just ride that train. And so they go into the room, and then we get a lot of just, you know, sexual puns, and the son is literally all like, yeah, well, I guess I want to take a tour on your butt bus. Oh, yeah.
Actually, that kind of does. So, want to give me a tour of your butt campus?
And so they get down and dirty and have intercourse, and it's great. It's so great. God, it's just unbelievably funny. And then when you just want to just ramp on how funny everything is, you cut back to the father and daughter plotline, where we get thrilling comedy like this, where the father, he's staring at the daughter and he's all like, I can't believe you don't like me. You know what? That's it. Can I get a one-person pizza?
I have big plans, Sarah, and they don't include you. Yes, I'd like to order a one-person pizza, just enough for me.
Wow, that's so fucking funny. I'm just so unbelievably done with all these stupid shows where, like, I can't fathom how much money they're making to make this stuff. Like, you can't make it up. Like, genuinely, this just has to be bottom of the barrel. Like, either frat boys are watching this or somebody's getting off of their 12-hour shift. They go home, they have a bucket of KFC on their lap, and they're like, a one-person pizza. You get it? Because that's a burn, because his daughter eats, because the pizza has slices. You know, it's just crazy how far this show can get. Maybe I'm hating on it even more because this is a spin-off and I've already like see 6 seasons of Big Mouth and a spin-off. Like, it baffles me that they're taking away production and money from other actually good shows where they actually seem to, you know, care a little bit. And that is where the episode just completely and utterly turns for me. Like, my reaction to this was genuinely just like, what the fuck? What is going on? Why is this happening? Like, you can't do this. You can't just add this in after I just watched a bunch of monsters at fuck university get down with each other, using each other up. Like, you can't just throw this in there. Like, it's so weird. This, like, what they do next in this episode is the equivalent of if I was, you know, I'm in a bouncy castle with, for example, PewDiePie, and I'm just jumping up and down with him. I'm having a great time. He's telling me about his beautiful, luscious life in Japan, how great it is, how he got a happy ending, and we're just having a great conversation. All of a sudden, the lights go out, they're gone, and I look over, and it's Jared from Subway holding his own foot-long sandwich in his hand, slowly walking towards me. That is literally what this felt like to me. Because the episode with the father and the daughter, it immediately switches up to where the daughter, she's in a room, and then all of a sudden, Emmy the love bug is showing her past memories, and it gets so dark to where the little version of herself starts talking about how you weren't around when your mother died. She died to chemotherapy and you weren't there.
So cute. You used to play salon.
But she lost all of her hair from the chemotherapy.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why don't you just focus on this from the beginning? Because genuinely, they can make such a unbelievably good show if they would focus on concepts like this. Monsters genuinely trying to help people who are going through crazy stuff like this. If you focus the 22-minute episodes on this, like, yes, you could have jokes in there between the father and the daughter. Yes, you could make your unbelievable one-person pizza joke. But like, when you have monsters having sex at fuck university in between this very serious thing where it's revealed that the daughter's mother died to cancer and she wasn't there and she resents herself for not being there for the death, and that's why she doesn't like her dad because she feels like it's all her fault. That is a deep concept that could have been done extremely well, but you decide to spend 17 minutes of the episode at fuck university. It's so weird. The decisions baffle me. I cannot fathom. Oh god, it's so odd. So, the daughter, she starts crying a lot, and she's unbelievably sad, and I really like how the dad, he's still relying on the shit-ass bug, Walter. He looks at him and he's like, Walter, you gotta help me, Walter. My daughter, she's turning into Heisenberg, Walter. You know, like something like that. But they have a nice talk, they figure it out, and they're ultimately able to become, you know, better with each other and have a better relationship. And I would have loved if that plotline took up the entire episode instead of having, you know, what I thought was going to be your A plot shift into your B plot, and then I just get to watch monsters get freaky with each other for a very long amount of time. It's just so odd. So odd. That's pretty much everything I want to talk about for this episode. There's really nothing good about it. There's nothing worth your time. There's nothing that's going to make you happy. It's just the most baseline jokes that you could ever tell. It's full of slop. The plot is all over the place. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it a 1 out of 10. Genuinely. It's so unbelievably awful. just finished watching the very first episode of the series, and I hate this show. I hate this so much. Why did they have to animate a baby being born in such a gruesome manner? There was no reason for it. I just watched a fetus just full-on stretch its way out of a vag, and I no longer want to watch this show anymore. Oh my god, like, it's so unnecessary to show something like that. The scene is unchanged, but they had to go through and animate every single frame of a baby just crawling his way out of that, fleshy cavern, that cavernous cave. And why? Why? What did it add to the episode? Because this episode was overall just absolutely dog shit. It's the first episode of the series, and it just does such a horrible job in every single way of getting you actually excited for what's to come within this series. The episode opens with just showcasing what human resources is like, what they all do for their jobs, and then we have a literal pinwheel made of penises being all like, is this show gonna be just like Big Mouth? And then they say yes, and then they just start laughing because it's a pinwheel made of penises. That's great. Awesome. And then we start our many plot lines in this episode. There's like 5 different plot lines with Moray. He doesn't like that it's his birthday because it's his birthday and he has nothing to show for it. Great, I don't really care. And then we also get introduced to the plot line of, oh boy, this woman is having birth and it's the worst thing ever and her husband sucks. Let's just constantly roast her and just deal with all of that. So, that happens, and then there's another plot line with these 2 other hormone monsters. I don't even know their names, getting stuck in an elevator. Also, a very pointless plot line that I don't think genuinely had a single joke. It was just ultimately there. Like, they're just doing so many different things in this episode. The head love bug gets fired, so Emmy the love bug takes over the entire case over the pregnant woman. So that's a thing. It's a great thing, I guess. Do what you want with it. She's not very excited about this because she's never had a case before and it's with a pregnant woman, so she's not excited. And apparently she's like a dumpster trash of a person. She like can't get home when she gets drunk. I don't know. I don't care. All that's in my mind right now is just a little fetus crawling out of a small hole that it shouldn't fit out of. How did it get out of there? I don't know. Why'd you animate it? Why'd you do that to me? That's all I can think about when talking about this stupid episode. God, it's all so dumb. So the people, they're stuck in an elevator. They end up in like another ethereal realm where literally the entire joke is just therapy. A weird creature reaches inside of this guy and unlocks his chakra, so he's just, gets therapy, and that's the entire joke. They get out of there, they go home. Moray, he doesn't want a birthday. He throws away his cookie cake, and he has a conversation with Connie, and the ultimate end joke of all of this, we have this entire building of Moray struggling with, being 40 million years old. It's a hard thing to get older, and Moray's just like, well, if Connie won't suck my penis, I guess I will. And then he sucks his own schlong, gets down and dirty with it.
The only mouth that'll suck your dick is the one attached to your fat fucking face. Happy birthday, shithead.
And I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is great. Oh my god. Wow, sucking your own schlong. Yay. God, it's still just like burned into my retina. Just the thought of that little tiny fetus crawling out of there. I can't get over it. I didn't like that scene. I'm not showing it in the video because I guarantee you my channel would just get outright banned. It is that bad. I don't like it. Obviously, it probably doesn't compare to an actual woman, releasing the thunder and just, giving life. But still, it was pretty fucking awful to look at, so that happens, and then the pregnant woman's water breaks, and Emmy doesn't really know how to help with this. She's basically just like not doing anything. And then we get to some of my favorite scenes in all of fiction, obviously, in which characters are just all hovered around a woman in a hospital bed, all talking over each other while a woman is giving birth. That just checks all the boxes, doesn't it? The sounds of women giving birth. wonderful. The sounds of 100 different people talking over each other about random nonsense like, oh god, what if the baby is gonna choke to death? Oh my gosh, you got this, girl. Oh no, you got this, yay, have the baby. Like, it's just all so pointless. And just to top it all off, Emmy is such a awful character in which she's just in the back and she throws up all over herself. And I'm supposed to be rooting for this character who is clearly just, you know, a dunce, a buffoon, deserves to be an outcast. And she's like, oh yes, now I'm sober, I'm so sober, let me help you. And then the doctors rush in and it's supposed to be like a tense moment where the baby might die, but I just didn't really care. And even now, all I could think about is the fact that I kind of wish the baby did die, which is a very sad sentence, but then I wouldn't have had to see it crawl out of there. And it's a TV show, so if it died, would I care? No, not in the slightest. I don't know. It's just burned into my mind and it's not going away. So Emmy finally gets, you know, the balls to walk up and like actually give her a pep talk. And it's like one of the most stereotypical things you could ever say, like, oh yeah, you want to know why you could have this baby? You want to know why you could do it? Because you are her. Go girl, go girl. This is like the type of thing you would tell prime Mike Tyson and he would somehow lose. Like fresh out of prison Mike, he would somehow lose because of how awful this speech is. Like, voice acting wise, character wise, speech wise, it doesn't check a single box. It's just an absolute waste of time. So she tells her that, and then the baby comes out, and you already know how I feel about that. The baby just expunges itself, and it's there. And then we get thrilling comedy in which Connie's staring at the mangled, gushy vag and is like, what are you gonna do with this? What are you gonna do with this? You can't use this. You can't stick anything in there. How you gonna have fun with that? How you gonna do anything with that? How you gonna do something with that? Yeah, and that's pretty much the entire comedy of that episode. And it's just actually baffling what these people find funny. I will never understand it, because like 90% of the jokes in this episode were all in relation to sex, obviously, and none of them were very funny. Like unless you're like a frat boy and you're like, dude, did you watch that episode of Human Resources? So like that ending, it was totally crazy. Like I was laughing so hard when that baby just pummeled its way out of that vagina. Like dude, like the way all those characters were yapping and then she actually pulled it together to just expunge that child. Oh my god, dude, it was hilarious. I'm so glad that they had to make 60 frames of a baby just covered in blood, just folding his way out of there. Like, it made me so happy, dude. Like, I don't get who they're trying to appeal to, because I can't imagine anybody would want to watch that. The reason this is probably the lowest rated episode in the series is because of that one scene, because I guarantee you 90% of people, when they saw that scene, they were just baffled and hurt by it, just like me. I felt my heart crumble and fall all the way down just into my stomach, and is now being like just eaten by my stomach acid. It was so bad and unnecessary in every single way. They straight up did that for shock value, and I will never understand why. 90% of the joke sucks. There were so many different plot lines in this episode. Emmy dealing with the pregnancy, getting stuck in the elevator, Moray being sad about his birthday, and it just really felt like the type of thing like, oh, this is our first episode, we need to jam in as much as possible so you remember all these characters, but ultimately every plot line is just done poorly, done in a way that just isn't designed to make you want to watch the show again. But this show went on to have a season, 2 seasons, and then Big Mouth. It's literally like somebody, like some executive is just sitting there like rubbing these, just going, I need more Big Mouth, more human resources, please. Oh god, or it's all a money laundering scheme. This entire show is a money laundering scheme. It's got to be some kind of odd, like, premonition of the future and where we're heading. Like, this is the doomsday, this is day one of it, and it's all caused by these awful shows that just should not exist. I can't believe what I just watched. I really can't. So there you have it. That's me taking a look at 2 episodes of Human Resources. And I just have like one question. If you're a genuine fan of this show or Big Mouth, what could possibly make you want to watch this over like South Park, Futurama, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Smiling Friends, literally any other adult animated show in existence? is better than this slop. Like, they tell actual jokes with actual setups. Like, even if you just want mainly shock humor, Family Guy is better than this. Even later Family Guy is better than this. I don't know why anybody would willingly expose themselves to this torture unless you just have a dark and twisted mind. And it sucks to insult people who are fans of the show like that, but there's just something inherently wrong with anybody who could possibly like this. There's no comedy setups. There's just constant sex jokes that aren't funny. Like, it's not like it's set up well. It's the equivalent of walking up to somebody and just saying, penis! And then you'll start bursting out laughing. Like, that's literally what it is. Like, it's not even me trying to shit on the show. That's genuinely what they do. That's the comedy. Like, it's not funny. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. The plots are all over the place. They seem like they want to do something interesting, and then they just constantly fall back to the same thing. Like, oh, we're making an interesting plot. Like the daughter being very sad about her mother's death. Let's just make the side plot them going to fuck university and just like having constant intercourse. It's so weird, man. It's so weird how you could genuinely come up with something unique and different and use your like hormone monsters or human resource monsters in a good way and then just completely fall back on that plot because you just want to constantly tell the same joke over and over again. This show is just baffling to me as to why it exists, why anybody would want more of it, and why people would ever sit down to watch it. I'll never understand it, but hey, to each their own. I mean, as long as you're not watching Big Mouth anymore because that show is just straight up a perverted nightmare, then that's okay. At least this show is kind of better than Big Mouth, at least morally. Like, comedy-wise, it's the exact same. Morally, it's a little bit better. So, yeah, that's all I got for today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I got daily content coming every single day about pretty much every show you could ever imagine. I'm eventually going to hit them all. I'm going to be doing some more stuff on the Patreon. I haven't posted there in a little bit, but that stuff is coming very soon. I appreciate every single one of you, especially those of you who stick around for the end of the video ramblings. You have a little place in my heart right here. So, yeah, daily content. Sorry if this one's a little short. I can't bring myself to watch the third episode that I had lined up. It's just unbelievably, I can't do it. Either way, take care. Goodbye.